For most of us, watches come down to us in the family. But today we have somebody with us where he got into watches himself and they did not come down to him in the family. He's a publisher, entrepreneur, man of style, BWC customer, and a long-time friend of the brand, Likith Nag. Well, Likith, after a long time, so many years of being associated with BWC, welcome to our show, Collecting Quietly.
Thank you, NJ. Happy to be here.
Oh, look, you're one of those people that are not loud about collecting and chest thumping on social media, so it gives me a lot of joy to have you here and talk about your watches.
Pleasure.
Let's start with the beginning. How did watches happen for you?
I think it's since my childhood, I've always been wearing watches, and it's hard to not wear one after you've worn it for a very long time, right? So it started off like that, and then got my first watch, and it's been a bug since then.
I know, the bug bites and then it never leaves.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk. I want to talk about your first watch, but tell me a little bit about your watches from the childhood. I know that you had some and then you had to let go of some.
Mm-hmm.
Any one single watch that's memorable from your childhood?
I think I had a Movado. It's got a black sporty dial with the blue Movado logo because it should be so clean. And the strap on the backside, like your Suryakiran, that had a blue one.
Yep.
So that was something that was really my favorite back in those days. Then the leather started falling off, and I had to let go of that watch.
Go of it.
Yeah,
right.
I couldn't get the strap back then.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I want to talk about your first watch. That's right here. It's a Remo wheel.
Yeah.
Let's talk about why that happened. But first, what was the intent behind? Now I need a serious watch. When did that happen?
I think it happened after I started working. So I started working with my father, and then back in that time, I think I didn't have any, if I remember correctly, I didn't have any dress watch. And that's when I wanted to kind of save up and have a good watch. I didn't want to buy anything. I wanted to make sure that I bought a watch, like it does justice to the word watch.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that I saved up and picked up a good one. Then I walked into a boutique, saw this one, really liked it. Had moonphase and the date, and it also has a very nice mechanism on how you change the date and the moonphase. So that kind of caught my eye, and I saved up for it and picked it up.
It's a great watch, right? I mean, most often when people pick up their first dress watch, they go for something a little more simple, little more with legibility. But you went with a complication, a moon watch for the first time.
Yeah.
Was it something that sort of drew you into the moon watch?
No, not really. It was just unique back in that time. I think you didn't find a lot of watches, and also at that price point to have got that I was very lucky, I felt.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. And you still have it?
I still have it. I'm not going to let go of it.
That was what, now 15 years ago?
Yeah, easily. Yeah, 15, 16 years now since I've been having it. Haven't gone for a service also.
Oh, there
it's
you
been
go.
working really well.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful watch. You got that Roman numbers on the dial.
Yeah.
Very classic dial.
Yeah.
And,
a very unique date marker.
A date marker as well.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And it's one of those colors you can never go wrong with a steel case and a black dial, right? I mean, you can dress it up. You could probably dress it down.
Yeah.
A nice pair of jeans and a dress shirt, and you can still wear it for dinner.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What drew you into this? Was there a particular reason you went for this brand, or was it more of the design that caught you?
I think for this one, it was mostly the design, and the brand came in a lot later. But I think as I matured with watches, the brand also started playing a larger role. But for that one particularly, I think it was the design that caught my eye first.
Oh, it's a great watch. It's a great choice. Look, I know you're a man of taste. No, I know the kind of cars you drive. I know the kind of clothing you buy.
Right.
And I also know for a fact that most people when they buy their first watch, it's most likely not a dress watch. And a lot of people probably buy their first watch to be sporty.
Yeah.
A la Tissot PRX, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think a first watch as a dress watch says a lot about the kind of man you are and the kind of taste you have. So a classic dress watch to begin with, something that you wore to work, and then a deep urge to buy that second watch, which could probably be a sports watch, and then the king came along, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that story. I know it's this Rolex. It's a beautiful watch. Tell us that story.
So I think it was Dad's 60th birthday, and he was gifting all of us And it wasn't the watch, but he was saying you guys can pick up something at a specific budget. And I had this watch in my mind. And he asked me a couple of weeks later saying that, did you pick up whatever you wanted? I said, no, I think I need to save a bit more before I picked up what I wanted. He asked me what it was. Then I told him this is the watch I was looking at. He was happy that, I actually was considering to buy a watch and not something a typical teenager at the time would. And he was happy to come and pay the difference, whatever I was having in mind. Then I picked up this watch. Then my sister got to know that I was picking this. Then she came. Then my brother-in-law came. Then my dad ended up picking up a watch for all of us. So I don't know if he's today happy about this decision that he kind of agreed to pay for it. But yeah, I'm happy it's now a part of my collection.
Well, there's a couple of things that's remarkable about this, right?
Yeah.
First of all, you went from a classic, simple dress watch from a Remo whale, and then went straight to
Rolex.
to the top spot of watches, which is fantastic, by the way, right? I mean, for you to be able to think on those terms.
Yeah.
And then the second was that your father was kind enough to come in and help you to make that purchase and sort of bridge that gap, right, from where you were to where the watch that you wanted. And then the other remarkable thing about it was he actually ended up buying one for everybody in the family, not just for you.
all of us. Yeah.
And he was able to buy as many Rolexes as they were.
We
right?
were fortunate, yeah.
Right. I mean, how many years ago was this?
I think it's easily about 12 years now, 12, 13 years since I've had this watch.
I think it'd be very, very challenging to do that today, to be able to buy multiple Rolexes for everybody in the family.
I mean, it's not available at the store, so yeah,
of course
it's
not.
definitely not possible. But back then, yeah, we were able to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So this one's going to be a keeper for you, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Right.
It marks my dad's milestone and my first Rolex ever. So yeah, it's going to be a keeper.
How much wrist time does this get?
Oh, this gets pretty decent wrist time, at least twice a week.
Wow,
I'm having
okay.
this. So yeah, it gets decent time.
Well, let's be rest assured that we're not in New York or London. So
Yeah.
you get a lot more wrist time
I know,
with it, right?
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
of course. Now let's go back to that deep urge to go from a dress watch and the Rolex, which is also pretty dressy in my opinion, right? And then go to a sports watch, right? Something that's sporty, something's a little macho.
Yeah.
And then came
The Chopard.
and then came the Chopard, right?
Yeah.
Tell me the story of that one.
So Chopard actually was a gift from my sister for my wedding. And I picked this up in the UB City Simpsons at the time. So this was a watch I picked up for my wedding. And this watch particularly I picked up because it was limited edition. I think this is the first limited edition watch that I've owned. And it's the Mille Miglia. It's an amazing story, a beautiful dial. I don't know if you know, but the dial color matches the watch that I had back in those days. They wanted to match the color, the red and the cream color. So it's the Mille Miglia race. It's a tribute to that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful watch. I mean, look, I think again, Chopard, first of all, Chopard's hard to come by. You don't see a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially when you're younger to go for a Chopard. Right? This has been with you for a few years also, right?
Yes.
When you're younger, when you're early days of collecting, you don't usually go for a Chopard. You typically go for the Longines and the Tissot and the Rado and those typical ones. And this is an unassuming, completely off the left field Mille Miglia. And then when I see people go for Chopard, they usually go for like an Alpine Eagle or something like that, right? And not typically the Mille Miglia. Right?
Yeah.
But this one's a beautiful watch, a beautiful
watch,
dial. I think I also can see how you dress it up or dress it down at the same time.
Yeah, you can. You can't go wrong with that. This one was, I think, 2014 made.
Right.
Like they made only 2014 of these.
Right.
I think on the back side you have the 1175th watch.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
Very nice watch.
Beautiful.
This was Enzo Ferrari's favorite kind of race.
Right.
Mille Miglia.
Right.
So this was a very dear watch to me.
And this gets a lot of wrist time as well?
Not as much as the Rolex comparatively because summer times are very brutal for the leather strap.
Right.
But I try to wear it as much as I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I also noticed that you got a good mix of leather and the steel bracelet. I see a lot of people, especially in India, that prefer metal bracelets, but I'm a big proponent of non-leather.
I actually never picked up any watch keeping that weather part in mind, at least not for the initial few. But I think much later I picked up the Speedmaster. This was when my son was 6 months old. We all traveled to Thailand and we were just strolling in the airport because the flight was delayed. And we went to Ethos and I saw this watch. And this watch was one watch that was, it caught my eye and I was in love with it. And it kind of felt like this watch was just made for me. And very rarely a watch would actually fit right on my wrist.
Yeah.
And this one was, everything was perfect.
Right.
And most of the times we actually plan to buy a watch. This was completely unplanned. And I was very fortunate I was able to pick it up instantly. But the watch box was really huge. And I had to fly out with that box in my hand because everything was checked in the luggage.
Right.
But it was worth the pain. But this watch, I wear it as much as I can. I think that gets most of the wrist time. Yeah.
Well, it's got a beautiful strap. It's got a rubber strap. It's got a deploying buckle. You've got a nice tri-compax chronograph going on with the white and black. I mean, it's a great watch. But talking of all black, there's another all black in your collection that that we can't miss, and that's the BWC Synchro.
Yeah.
But tell us the story of how did BWC happen for you? Like, what's the story there?
So this was, I think, right after the pandemic, and also around the time you had launched this watch, right? So it was my birthday, and this was a gift from my mother, and I was doom scrolling on Instagram, and then I saw your ad, and I really liked the watch and the story behind it. So that's why I wanted to pick this up. And yeah, I was fortunate that I was able to pick it up from you guys. A beautiful watch.
No, it's a cool watch.
Yeah.
It's a limited edition. It's got that nice planes on the dial, the red and white minute marker.
Yeah.
I think it's a very sporty, very cool watch, right?
Yeah.
But it's it's an all black, so I'm assuming it doesn't get as much wrist time as your steel watches, right?
No, it gets better than the Louis Vuitton for sure.
Well, makes me feel better.
No, I do use it a lot of casual time.
Right.
In fact, I end up using this with the nylon strap.
Right. Yes.
More than the leather.
Right.
Because the nylon is more user friendly for me. So I wear it whenever I'm traveling, any cloudy place. It's a great watch to wear for me.
Right.
Yeah.
But on that note, right? Continue on that note about what do you think about building watches from India? What do you think about BWC and how and where it fits in your superb collection of watches here?
No, actually, I have a watch box which has about 10 winders, and we have some of my watches here. And I make sure that in the watch box, only a few of those go in. And this actually sits in my watch box all the time because it makes me feel nice. Because it's a Bangalore watch, not the brand, but it's a homegrown brand, right? So I like the community aspect to it, and I like the fact that it has a tribute story as well, not just the Bangalore Watch Company itself. So I really like the way the watch was built. Looks really cool. So I think it just sits in the watch box, and I really like to look at it.
Fantastic, right? I mean, look, I think you've got a lot of classy ones and a couple of sporty ones, and I think this sort of checks the box for a couple of those sporty watches that you want to have. There's a couple more classics I want to talk about in your collection, but before that, I want to sort of switch gears and talk about the whole idea of collecting watches, not because you want to tell the world that you're into watches, but because it makes you happy.
Yeah.
Right? Are you into any sort of social media? Do you talk about watches?
Not really.
Yeah?
Not really. Not a big guy on social media.
So what's the dopamine hit with watches?
No, I mean, I don't look for one. It's just that, when I look at it, it makes me happy and I feel nice about the collection that I have. And that's what matters to me the most.
Well, that's phenomenal, right? I mean, we speak with a lot of our people in the owners community in BWC, and a lot of them, aren't really about going and telling the world what they own, but they buy simply because they have an emotional connection with something. It makes them feel happy when they look at their wrist.
Yeah.
And that sort of fits right into the philosophy with how we build here, right? But is that so about other things as well? I know you're a man of style. You're into clothing, footwear, and other things. Is that how it is for the rest of the categories? I know you're into fountain pens as well.
Yeah.
Do you talk about those on social media, or are you quiet about those?
No, I'm quiet about almost everything. It's just for my personal life. I keep it very personal. Very few people that I meet talk about the similar likings that I have. So I think watches now is getting a lot more voice. So very few people, or at least of late, I talk to a lot of them about the watches that they have and the watches that I collect. Fountain pens are not there yet. Yeah. But yeah, watches, yeah, I love watches, and I kind of observe a lot, like what people are wearing. So it's come to that now.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you're the only one in your community that gets to talk about watches as much as you do, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lonely journey, isn't it?
It is.
Well, and it's a rabbit hole. You can't get yourselves out of it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Watches.
Yeah, absolutely.
So look, in a series of dress watches and a couple of spots of sports watches, there is a watch that you chased down for the longest time.
Yeah.
Tell me that story.
So it was the Omega Constellation. I have always wanted to pick up this dial. I think it was for almost 2 years that I have been planning to buy it. And then I was blessed with a baby boy. And during the naming ceremony of my eldest son, my in-laws gifted this to me. But the only thing was, I wanted an automatic, and it happened to be a quartz. It's got a very funny story to this. My brother-in-law actually walked into the boutique, and he was just randomly asking them, how much is this, how much is that, and what's the best deal he could get. And the storekeeper just said, sir, if you want this watch, I'll give you 25% off. He's like, okay, done, pack it. So when he came to this, he said, I'll just pack it. And then my brother-in-law assumed that it was an automatic watch. And then later he realized it was a quartz.
It was a quartz watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of irritate my wife now and then, saying that I wanted to know, your parents got me a quartz watch. So yeah, I just rub it on her face here and there. But otherwise, it's a watch that I really enjoy wearing, and it gets a lot of my wrist time. And the beautiful part of this watch is it can never go old.
Yeah.
It's like very evergreen. You could wear it even on your denims. So something that's very classy, and it also represents or like shows my personality, I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, multiple things with this. One is it's a classic style. It's iconic. It's been around for years now, decades. Omega's made very little changes to the style overall. And so they've sort of stuck to the form factor of the Constellation. It also fits into your style of collecting, which is very classic watches overall, right? It just that you just have to switch batteries out once every few years.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's the only thing.
It's a little compromise over there, right?
Yeah.
But how do you feel particularly strongly about having only automatic or mechanical watches in your box?
No, I would any day prefer an automatic watch. Couple of reasons, because now that you ask, if you see, I've been very fortunate that I've always picked up a watch from a good brand, and all of those that can at least hold its value over a period of time. I've been very fortunate because not all my watches I've picked up with that kind of a mindset. But now thinking about it, I think all the watches are like really good investments. All of them hold that value. And yeah, I think this watch was one of those watches that I picked up recently. And yeah, it's got a little bit of a classy as well as a little bit of sporty look to it. Yeah, something I enjoy wearing it now.
Now look, let's switch to that. Now that you picked that up, let's talk about the Cartier, right?
Okay.
It's got that beautiful blue dial,
Yeah.
Roman numbers. It's a classic. You can never go wrong with it.
Yeah.
And an integrated bracelet. If I reckon, you also have the leather straps to go with it, right?
Oh, yeah,
Switch
it comes
on.
with a blue leather strap, very easily interchangeable. A beautiful watch. I picked it up very recently. Not very old. I think this one is about 4 or 5 years old. Something I really liked. I've always wanted to buy this. I just was fortunate to pick this up.
How do you pair with this? Is it more dressy for you, or is it more a casual style?
No, this one is mostly dressy and sometimes casual, but most of the times it's my formal watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Talking of your children, your sons are young now.
Yeah.
They're going to grow up in a few years and start buying the first watches for themselves.
Yeah.
Would you tell them to go for the same choices you made, or would you tell them to make different choices now?
I think I would let them learn. So I would maybe let them buy whatever they feel nice and kind of learn about watches the way that I was able to learn. I think that would be the right way for me to educate them about watches.
Are they curious now about watches when they see you?
Yeah, they actually, the elder one is 7, the younger one is 4 years old, and they both have a Swatch. And every morning, if they are awake and they see me get dressed to work, they will say, remove my watch also and let me wear it. So they actually are very conscious when they look at me, and they would end up wearing their Swatch watch with dinosaurs on it. So they both enjoy wearing watches.
Fantastic. Now, look, I thank you for creating future customers for BWC and for all the other watch brands in the world.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's important to inculcate the habit of wearing something on your wrist, be it a smartwatch or a or some sort of a watch. And
It's
then
important.
then they get into watches eventually when they're able to afford them. Right? Likith, this has been a pleasure having you at the boutique and talking about your philosophy of collecting, and especially collecting quietly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for sharing your watch journey with us.
Thank you so much, Andy. Happy to be here.